Hi, good day. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a lot of things to discuss about, and one of which is, of course, ABS-CBN and President Duterte's use of the word or term oligarchy. And as we all know, when he used the term oligarchy or oligarchs, he's pertaining to ABS-CBN and its owners, the Lopez family. Alright, but my question is, who are actually the oligarchs in this country? What creates or makes an oligarch? And what is a system in which oligarchy can exist and proliferate? And if we're going to talk about all these issues, we need to discuss the history of oligarchy. What are the things that contribute to the system of oligarchy? And is the Philippines an oligarchic system? We don't know unless we're going to tackle all these terms one by one. Alright, so we have on Twitter this issue of Mike Defensor, Boying Remolio, and Marcoleta. These three minions of President Duterte who definitely played a big role in the ouster or the stoppage of ABS-CBN. Alright, as we all know today, ABS-CBN is no longer a legitimate or legit corporation or entity. Okay, it doesn't have any franchise at all or right to operate as a corporation. So now there are a lot of talks about what's going to happen to the 11,000 employees of ABS-CBN, and one of which is, of course, the suggestion of one of Mr. Villaferte, again, a member of a very powerful political clan in this country. Apart from this guy, okay, a lot of the 30 minions were also urging ABS-CBN to sell their company to any open crony or billionaire who's willing to buy the network for the sake of the 11,000 employees. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Angel Locsin said that, has this been your plan all along? Parang tinanong niya, parang ito na yung plano dati pa. Patagal na bang plano to? Parang ganun yung sinabi niya. She said that, it looks like this has been your plan all along. Alright, so as I said before, this is like a well-orchestrated ouster of ABS-CBN. Alright, even before the passage of the anti-terror bill, I was like suspecting that they're trying to rush the passage of the anti-terror bill in order to somehow use this law for future purposes. And the future is now. And before the passage of the anti-terror bill, they were like having these hearings in Congress as to whether they're going to grant ABS-CBN a congressional franchise of 25 years. And we now know today that it's been a plan all along. And it's no secret. Like I said, it's no secret that Duterte wanted to shut down the network, and he's been saying this, for years. For example, 3 years ago, he said on this video on YouTube, from Inquirer, Duterte to destroy monster oligarchs in government. But he said in government. He did not say in the Philippines. So we're going to discuss the term oligarchy or oligarchs as well. But before we get there, there is this viral video that's been circulating on social media, especially on Twitter. It's definitely not surprising that these politicians, especially Mike Defensor, alright, have been planning on, this thing all along, the ouster or shutting down of ABS-CBN. So according to the guy who posted this, these are Mike Defensor, Boying Remolio, the three stooges, okay, the three minions of President Duterte, and Marcoleta. These names became like household names over the past few weeks, because these guys are the very reason why ABS-CBN is no longer a legit corporation or is no longer operating today. And one of the quotes in this video says, yung titulo unahin natin. The title, let's start with that. Dapat makuha natin kaagad yon. We should get that first or immediately get that first. Lahat ng improvements doon, pag-aari na ng gobyerno yon. So, they've been planning to have a government takeover of the network. And, you know, this is what I call legalized theft. Okay, taxation is a form of legalized theft. Whether you're a pro free market or capitalism or for socialism, let's admit it. You know, taxation is a form of legal theft. This step done by the minions of President Duterte is what we call legalized or bureaucratic theft of ABS-CBN. And if you recall, okay, they started with all this propaganda, black propaganda against ABS-CBN. And I must tell you again, I'm not a viewer or never been a viewer or fan of ABS-CBN. Or I probably watch some of their shows, but I never like ABS-CBN. I probably like some of their movies, because ABS-CBN is a big corporation. It has its own movie outlet, the Star Cinema. So it's basically an entertainment, corporation. Probably, let's just say that it's 80% entertainment and 20% news. So regardless of what your opinion about ABS-CBN is, they don't deserve this kind of shutdown of the network. And so it started with black propaganda, and then Mr. Kalida, the Soljan Kalida came in and filed a co-warrant petition against ABS-CBN with the Supreme Court. And according to experts, the Supreme Court is not supposed to be trier of facts. So if you have some grievances to air against a network, if you're alleging tax evasion or tax avoidance or abuse of employment, etc., if you're alleging all these crimes allegedly committed by ABS-CBN, then go with the lower court. And that did not prosper. But basically, they did all this. Okay, they did all this. The black propaganda, Kalida's co-warrant petition, in order to destroy the reputation of ABS-CBN, in order to justify the final blow against ABS-CBN by Congress, because they all know that it's not enough to really shut down ABS-CBN by simply alleging some crimes it committed through co-warrant petition. They cannot simply shut down ABS-CBN by saying that ABS-CBN violated labor laws. Alright, because it's gonna take years, okay, for them to prove all these allegations of tax evasion, labor issues that they have with the workers. So the main course or the main plan that they actually had, and we know it today, is the denial of its franchise by the Congressional Committee in Congress, in the lower house. Right, and we all know today that that's actually the plan all along. And this is the evidence of it. So we have these three minions of Duterte discussing how they're gonna pull it off, how they're gonna oust the Lopez family out of their own business or corporation. So remember, the Lopez family is considered the old rich, one of the old richest in this country, one of the most influential families in the Philippines. Okay, it's like Shaibol. I don't know if that's the pronunciation of the Korean Shaibol. Shaibol, I don't know, but the spelling is Chaebol. Okay, these are like cronies or oligarchs, in which select families run big corporations. Okay, that's the system in Korea. But in the Philippines, we have all these corporatists, okay, corporatist, old rich or oligarchs running these old businesses, and one of these families is the Lopez family. So, they're trying to topple one of the biggest, most powerful kingmakers in the Philippines. So, you know, we can say that the Cojuangcos, or yeah, Danding Cojuangco. I almost forgot the name. Danding Cojuangco is one of the biggest kingmakers in the Philippines. But you know, one of the biggest, if not the biggest kingmaker in the Philippines is the Lopez family. They produce a vice president. They produce senators. In fact, the father of senator and now you know Speaker of the House, uh, Peter Allen Cayetano, his father was an employee of ABS-CBN, and because of his popularity and because of ABS-CBN, his father, I forgot his name, the patriarch of the Cayetano family, became senator, and he was the number one senator during the very first time that he tried to run for Senate, position. My cats are playing in the background. So, alright, so that's the history. And we have Sharon Cuneta's husband, Kiko Pangilinan, okay, who became senator, all because of the popularity of the wife. We have, what else? Lauren Legarda, who did not vote, who did not vote during the hearing, the final vote. Lauren Legarda, who owes, whatever she has today. She owes her office to ABS-CBN. Is a traitor. She's a traitor, and she became a senator because of ABS-CBN. Let's get to this, discussion between these minions of Duterte, in which they discuss how they're gonna take over the company. All right. So let's play the video, shall we?
Ano?
Yung titulong unahin natin.
Oo.
Natin.
Ano?
Yung titulong unahin natin.
Oo, yung lupa, oh. Oo. Dapat naman imbestigahan yan, oh. Hindi, ako po second time, sorry kaya ko inuuna tong sa mga workers takeover. Kasi kung magkakaisa yung mga manggagawa, ang union, ang supervisors, ipetisyon nila ang presidente, ang NPC, at payagan sila. Bukas, gawin na nila yung kanilang pagpapatakbo ng ABS-CBN. Ngayon, ang problema, yung mismong equipment. Kasi hindi kanila yung equipment sa proportion pa ng ABS-CBN. Ito pa sila, listo
para makuha natin agad yun. Kasi kung yung principal, yung lupa, wala silang may mabubuhat doon. Lahat ng mga cattles doon, improvements, mag-aari na ng gobyerno yun. Sapagkat ang lupa ay sa gobyerno. Ang lupa, lahat nun accessory. Kapag tinake over yun, o di madalis sila makakapag-program doon.
Tama.
At guys,
Sige pa.
I think that we have to meet next week. Yung grupo natin, tsaka yung mga chairman ng committee. Para lahat ng follow-through action natin magawa natin. Kasi marami pa tayong nakabitin na dapat gawin para we can do justice to our jobs. Kasi pag hindi natin tinapos to, sayang naman yung mga dapat nating.
Alright, so this is a very incredible and very incriminating video. Pag hindi natin tinapos na, sayang naman na. I think that's what this guy said. I think he's the Boeing Remolia in the story here. Alright, so they're claiming that the government owns the land. Alright, and they would like to really have the workers take over. Alright, so this is like socialism. Okay, socialism in effect. Alright, so they've been planning all this all along, and Is it actually the network, alright? Or is it the family behind the network that they're truly against? Okay, because they would like to have the workers take over according to them. But of course, this is still gonna be a corporation, right? So who are gonna be the biggest stockholders of this new corporation? So basically, they're discussing the dissolution of ABS-CBN and Savinala. They're gonna have a meeting next week. So it's very ironic that we have a president, Mr. Duterte, President Rodrigo Duterte, who was talking about oligarchy, alright, oligarchy over the past days. This is the video in which Duterte bragged about, dismantling the oligarchy in the Philippines. But the irony of all ironies is that these few men, alright, in this Zoom video represent the very essence or definition of oligarchy, or few men ruling or governing. Okay, so imagine we have these few men who have this power to simply shut down a corporation that they don't like, and they don't give a damn if 11,000 employees are gonna lose job. And now they have this contingency plan, the takeover contingency plan to, really have the government intervene and force the Lopezes out of the business and give the business to whoever Poncho Pilado they would like to give this business to. But they're saying that it's gonna be the workers. But of course, the government has already taken over. This is the very essence of crony capitalism, or not crony capitalism, but socialism, crony socialism that we have in this country.